I just wanted to jump in before this video starts, and I'm doing this before I've even rewatched the footage. So as I'm filming this, it is the 10th of April, and I'm hoping this video is going up on the 11th of April. But I actually went to see The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry on the 14th of March. So we're just shy of a month delay with the upload. And that is because I've just been really busy and my head's been a bit frazzled and I've been a little bit wonky, shall we say? And I don't know, I just need to take some time away, but now I'm really in the mood to get back into filming and uploading and editing again. So yeah, I just wanted to say sorry there was such a delay on this video. Harold Fry is on until the 16th at the Theatre Royal Haymarket. So if this does go up on the 11th, you still have a couple of days. If you're local to London, get your tickets, get down there because it's amazing. I kind of wish that I'd managed to get back, but I haven't. I only saw it once while it was in London, but I did see it last year in Chichester as well. But yeah, just wanted to come in and sort of preface this whole video by saying sorry this is so delayed. I think I'm back now, and also I have a fringe, so this is going to be a bit jarring in the next clip when I definitely don't. But I will, yeah, hope you enjoyed the video.
I am running seriously behind on videos. I don't know if you can hear, you probably can, but I was ill. I think I said in the last video, which as of me filming this hasn't gone up yet. I was ill about a week and a half ago and it's still hanging around in my sinuses. I haven't filmed anything up to now because I thought I'll just wait until I'm better, but that doesn't seem to be happening with any sort of urgency. So I'm going to start this video now because tomorrow I'm going to London to watch The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, which I am very excited about. If you've been around my channel for a while, I have been talking about this show pretty much since I started making videos. I saw it in Chichester last year and it was like my favourite show of the year. So as soon as tickets went on sale for London, I booked them. I strong-armed my family into coming with, so there's a couple of us going. I need to be up very early tomorrow because the trains have been a nightmare, so I do have a train. I have a train at about 7:30 in the morning. It'll only take me an hour to get to London, so I will be in London by 8:30. Fingers crossed, as long as everything goes well. And then we're going to the matinee, so we'll be there for the 2:30 show. And then I'll be getting the train home at around 8 p.m, probably just gone 8 p.m. So after that, or maybe not tomorrow, but Sunday morning, I will also film a review of the show. But I just wanted to start the video now because chances are, first thing tomorrow morning, I am not going to be in the headspace to be filming an introduction because I will be up at 5:30 because I need to leave my house at about 6:30. So that is the plan. I still sound ill. I don't feel ill, which is good. But yes, I think that's pretty much it. As of right now, I am doing Easter related things. I've decided to make Easter presents this year. On top of my usual, I'm going to make Christmas presents. So I've started Easter prep and I'm watching Call the Midwife because I refused to watch the very last episode. So I've just started from the beginning. So that's my plan. And that's how the first part of the weekend is going to go. So yes, I will check back in either tomorrow morning or at some point tomorrow. I'll take some clips as I'm wandering around London. But yeah, that's the plan. Good morning. I have just arrived at the train station. It is 7 a.m. and so far everything is on track. I was up at 5:30, left the house at 6:30, and my train is at 7:30. So this will probably be the last time I speak to the camera today, unless I do something in this exact spot this evening when I get back. But yeah, I just thought it was worth checking in. I was going to do this sort of in the car park at the other end before I drove, but then someone got in the van next to me and started eating breakfast, so I felt very uncomfortable and didn't film. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. But yeah, looking forward to it.
So Hannah with a Fringe is back. I am halfway through the edit for this video and I don't know what was going on when I filmed my review for The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, because it is bad. I think this is probably why I didn't upload it, was because, or I didn't want to edit it, was because I knew it was not great. So I'm gonna re-record my review. Apologies for the lighting, it's late and I want to get this done. So I'm gonna re-record my review portion of this. Just know that even the original review was late. So I went to see it on a Saturday. I recorded the original review the Thursday after because I was just not feeling it. I now am feeling much better. I know how to talk. The original review portion was 25 minutes long and half of that is completely unusable content. So let's just start from scratch. I will start by showing you the programme. So this is the London run programme. So it's got the updated font and the updated artwork. I do have my Chichester programme as well. So I saw this show in Chichester in 2025 and then the Theatre Royal Haymarket in 2026. And this is the original Chichester programme. So a bit the same, a little bit updated for the London run. Apologies if the camera's shaking, I'm using a different tripod and it's not great. But yeah, these are the two programmes. When I go to a show, I'm a programme and pin badge type of person. I used to be a t-shirt person, I used to love a show t-shirt. But nowadays I don't wear that many t-shirts and there's only so many you can buy. And I do find they're quite expensive and the quality is not always top notch. So I'm always going to be a programme person. In Chichester, all they did was programmes. I think they were selling the book as well. Because if you don't know, this is based on a book. I'd forgotten the book for the musical is actually written by Rachel Joyce, who is the original author. But just to jump back to merchandise, pin badges and programmes, and I have the Harold Fry pin badge. I just love it. All the staff on the bar were wearing these as well. I do like it when the whole theatre sort of buys into the show that's on. So yeah, that is that out of the way. So my reviews, if you're new, generally come down to, did I enjoy it? Would I go and see it again? Would I recommend it to a friend? I'm not a super technical person. I'm not the person to come to for really in-depth critique of technique or ideas or things like that. If it sounds good, if it looks good, if I enjoy it, I think it's 5-star. This show genuinely, I believe, is a 5-star show. I went with family, so I went with my mum, my sister, my nan, my cousin and my auntie, all through my mum's side, and they all loved it too, so I always think that's quite a good judge. I did feel quite a lot of pressure with this one because I've been talking big game about this musical for a year. If you've followed my channel, you know I've been talking about it since my first video, and I think I hyped it up a little bit, so there was a bit of pressure for it to be good, but everyone loved it, so that was really lovely because we all got to see this show that I really love and everyone else had a good time too, which is a positive. I knew the story, I knew the show, I knew the music, so this time I could really go and sort of compare it to the Chichester run, I suppose, and I had sort of the base level, so I wasn't so locked in on like what's happening, what's the story. I could just watch it and enjoy it, which I always really like with the show. I was a little bit worried when it first announced it was going to London because the Minerva Theatre, if anyone knows, in Chichester, which is where it was before, is a very small, it's the smaller of the two Chichester theatres. It's a very small theatre, it's in the round, or technically a traverse, I think, because it's got a back on it, but it's a very intimate playing space, and I think the show got a lot from that because it's such an emotionally charged show. There's something quite impressive about being that close to the sort of action of it. And I was a little bit worried when it said it was going to London and then it said it was going to the Haymarket, which is not a small house, but it's not like the biggest theatre in London. I was a bit worried it was going to lose some of that intimacy, but it really doesn't because it's quite a small show. It's very sort of self-contained and there's a lot of energy in it, but it sort of simmers. I don't know how to describe it. It's there's very few shows that you go and see and everyone is sort of on the same wavelength in the audience, like everyone's feeling the same thing. I will say there's a couple of really quiet moments in this show, and there was a man 3 rows behind us who at one of the quietest, tensest moments of the show gripped his water bottle really tight, which was annoying, but it was also kind of hilarious because it broke the tension. And it was I don't know why that sort of came into my mind, but that does now. Whenever I think about this show, I think about that person's water bottle. But yeah, it keeps that sort of very controlled grip on the emotions and the atmosphere. I was quite shocked at how much it hadn't changed from its original run. The set itself, a lot of the set was the same. It was still very, not minimal because there were things like doors and windows and tables and chairs coming on, but it wasn't, there was no more than there needed to be on stage at any time. And a lot of the cast were the same. A couple of the cast members were exactly the same. Some of them were new for the London run. Some people couldn't do the London run for whatever reason, but the cast were, again, phenomenal. I think this is a show that really sort of hinges on a really strong cast, and they've had it both times. It's got to be a really difficult one to do just because it's quite a heavy plot. Maybe I'll do a bit of a spoilery review. So the show is basically about a man who receives a letter from a friend who he's not spoken to for years, and she's basically saying she's in end of life palliative care, and he tries to write her a letter and walks to the post box, and then as he's walking he's thinking about his life and the people he meets and the people that he's sort of not let in over the years, and he keeps walking to like the next post box, and in the end he decides he's going to walk to Queenie, his friend, in Berwick upon Tweed from Devon, I believe, either Devon or Cornwall. So he's going to go from like bottom of England to the very top of England. And the show basically just follows him as he sort of encounters people and learns their stories. And the whole point of it is you never really know what someone's going through. And I don't know what, it's such a sort of basic concept when you're in school and you're told be nice to people because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what everyone's thinking, you don't know what everyone's feeling, or you don't know what they've had to deal with that morning or what they're going to go home to. And that is basically the entire premise of this show. And it does it so well, and it sort of highlights so many different people and so many different types of conundrum, I suppose. And there's something I really love about the way this show is put together as well, in the fact that as they move through the country, there's so many different like local traditions and customs included. So some of them are sort of more obvious. So when he's going through Bath, there's a lot of Jane Austen references, but there's also a bit where he's on a farm and this washing line turns into like a maypole. So there's maypole dancing, there's Morris dancing, there's what to me looks like the Mary Cloyd, and as a Welsh person that makes sense, but he never goes to Wales, so it doesn't. So I don't know whether somewhere in England, I can't even remember whether it's when he's sort of Aylesbury, sort of Stonehenge area, whether this is where it happens, which would make sense because that sort of all ties in with the idea of sort of pagan customs. For anyone who doesn't know, the Mary Cloyd is that Welsh tradition of a horse's skull on a stick, and it comes round on Christmas Eve and basically rap battles you at your door, and if you don't beat it, it comes into your house and drinks your beer, I think. Don't come for me on that one. I know I'm a historian and Welsh, but my sister's better place to talk to you about things like that. But yeah, all that is to say, it incorporates like folk traditions and different types of folk dancing, which I love, and the sound of it sort of changes as we go through the country as well. It's a folk soundtrack for sure, which I absolutely adore. Very reminiscent of Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which is another show that I saw last year and adored. I can't even remember what I was originally saying. This is what happens. I get so into this show that I just ramble. So yeah, does it translate from Chichester? Yes, it does. The bits where it has to get bigger to like have the set fill the stage, it takes those chances when it can, but it doesn't do anything more than it needs to, which I was really, really grateful for, because it still felt like this perfectly composed little show. Would I recommend other people go and see it? Yes, 100%. There are some quite heavy themes in it. So there's themes of sort of alcoholism and people's relationship with drink. That is explored quite a lot. The character of the balladeer turns into a different character, and then we find out that that character is no longer alive. I believe there was sort of warnings on the website, or like not trigger warnings, but just sort of saying there are some themes that people might struggle with. So I would say if any of that sounds like something that would affect you, and maybe just sort of consider yourself first. It's a really good show. It's all handled very respectfully, but I can imagine if you're not expecting it, it does come a bit out of left field in Act 2. It gets very, very serious very quickly. And my cousin turned to me in the interval, sort of at the end of Act 1, and was like, "This is all very happy." I was like, "Yes, it is." So far. Yeah, it gets quite heavy. So if that is not something for you, then I completely understand. I would say it feels a little bit like, and I've said this to other people, it feels like Come From Away. If you're aware of Come From Away, which is a show about a town in Newfoundland in Gander. Apologies if I say either of those wrong. But it's about this town during the September 11th attacks, when all of the planes that were due to go into American airspace were redirected there, because they used to be the biggest airport in the world, so they have the infrastructure to take on these planes. But it's about a community sort of pulling together, and there's so much sort of positivity in it that even though it's about an awful situation, you leave feeling very sort of uplifted, and that is what I get from Harold Fry. It's about sort of finding the beauty in the everyday and falling back in love with yourself and the people around you, and there's just something really lovely about it, and you can't really get to those places in the way this show does without going through the bad stuff first. So yeah, that's my sort of round with the show, and I think it's why I love it so much, is because it is such a it's not a show like Phantom of the Opera, where it's amazing people doing amazing things. It's like normal people doing normal things, and it's the type of history I love as well, where I don't tend to go in for kings and queens and big things and big impressive houses. Obviously I love that, but I like people. I like real people, and I mean, I work in a small town museum as part of a bigger group, but we're very much based in this small town in England. And the stories that I love putting out there are people from that town and the things that they've done. And this is what that show is to me. It's what it reminds me of. It just reminds people that whoever you are, it's telling the story of the everyman. I don't know how to describe it, but it's the type of show that I'm just drawn to. I think my family are always a little bit on edge because I will go to literally anything. So when I say something's good, they're like, yeah, but is it your good or is it like normal person good? But this, they agreed, is everyone thinks this is good. So that is that. The third question I asked myself at the beginning of this was, would I go and see it again? This was my seeing it again, was seeing it this time. I wish I'd had the chance to see it a third time. I don't know, I think if I can see a show 3 times, it means I really, really love it. The only other one I've ever done that for is Next to Normal. So I saw it once at the Donmar and twice in London. So I was like, can I do it again with this and see it once at Chichester and twice in London? I have, in the edit, realised I made a mistake at the beginning. It closes on the 18th, which is Saturday. So I could technically go and see it again, but I have just spontaneously bought myself a ticket to go to Chichester again tomorrow to watch the BFG, the play, I believe. I don't know too much about it, but I thought, why not? So I'm probably not going to see it again, but I would. So does it hold up after Chichester? Yes. Would I recommend it to people? Yes. Would I see it again? Yes. That is why it's a 5-star show. It was, I believe, from memory, my favourite show of last year. It could very well hold that position this year. I am going to do another tier ranking the shows that I've seen this year video, because I did find that really fun. I've not been to see, I mean, as of filming this, I've only seen Harold Fry this year. I've got a couple more booked, so I will just run through what I've got booked now and we will see what beats it. So I've got BFG tomorrow, I've got Beetlejuice booked, which I'm excited about. I'm going to see Ride the Cyclone again. That got announced for sort of end of summer, I believe it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, going to see Ride the Cyclone again. That might be the same day as Beetlejuice. That is. So in August, I'm going to see Ride the Cyclone and Beetlejuice on the same day. I'm doing a 2-show day for the first time ever. I'm very excited about that. I'm only going to see Ride the Cyclone again because my sister was obsessed with it and I do love the music. We are seeing it in the same place. It's Southwark Playhouse Elephant. Tickets have gone up quite considerably from last time, and I don't know whether I'll do a different video about that and just the pricing structure in the West End at the moment, because I have thoughts, but I also understand that the theatre industry needs to make money. So I'm not going to complain too much because they still weren't ridiculously expensive, but they were much more expensive than last time. And I've also got Love Never Dies in concert booked. I don't think I've spoken about Love Never Dies on this channel, but I have been flying the flag for this show since about 2013. I went to see Phantom when it was on tour it's got to be 2013, like early 2013, and fell in love with it. And then bought the 25th anniversary on DVD because I'm rock and roll like that. And then discovered that Love Never Dies existed and watched it and loved it. And since then, no one has ever known what I'm going on about. But now it's going to London in concert. And it seems to have sold really well. So I'm holding out hope for a revival. But I've got that booked. I'm probably going to book Cabaret this year. A friend just reached out to me and said, have you seen the new cast announcement? And I have. And yeah, we're thinking of going to that. I'm trying to think, I must have something else booked. Death Note the musical at the Barbican. I've got Death Note booked. I am intrigued by this. I've only heard that one Jeremy Jordan song from it, and that was sort of enough to sell me on it. My sister used to be really into anime, so I did watch the film of it on Netflix like years ago. I remember it was quite fun, so that'll be exciting. And I'm excited to go to the Barbican as well because it's a theatre I've not been to, and I'm a massive fan of the 70s and like 60s and 70s in history. I say I don't have a time period. I very much love the 60s and 70s. And I love brutalist architecture, so I'm really looking forward to that. That's more like the whole thing is an experience there. But yeah, I think so far Harold Fry is doing well in terms of the will it still be my favourite musical of this year. I hope something beats it. Not because I don't want it to be my favourite, but because I want to find a new favourite. Just before I sign off as well, just because I think I didn't even get to the end of watching my last version of this. And I mean, this is rambly, so imagine what the last one was like. But it did decently well at the Olivier's, which I'm really, really happy for. I think had it been a year where it wasn't against Paddington, I think it would have done even better. But Paddington seems to be just like this giant that's come out of nowhere. I don't think anyone was I missed the boat on it. I really wasn't expecting it to be as big as it is. And I've heard the album and it sounds amazing. So I'm happy for it. But I do kind of wish there was a little bit more love for Harold Fry at the Olivier's. I don't know, it might get Best New Musical. I hope Jenna Russell wins. I'm not sure though. I'm told that the other women who've been nominated for Best Actress in a Musical were phenomenal as well. I mean, you've got to be nominated. But yeah, I hope it gets something. And even if it doesn't, it opened so late in the season, it's a real sort of credit to the material that it even got nominations when people have already been thinking about these other shows for almost a year. So I think I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, this has been insanely chatty. I think I'm back. I think I'm back to my usual posting. I've actually had a thought. This will be going up on Sunday, but you will be getting a video on Saturday. I'm saying this and it's already up, but I had a video I needed to upload and that is going to have to go up tomorrow before this one goes up. So this one will go up on Sunday. So I'm doing a 2-day in a row upload. It's never going to happen again, people. If you've enjoyed this video, and you probably did until I started rambling at the end, please give it a like, give it a comment, watch some of my other videos because I think I'm going to be really pushed down in the algorithm now because I've not posted for a month. So yeah, please just give me as much support as you can. I really like making these videos. I've really remembered why I started doing this now. I will leave my links to all my social medias in the description below as well. I have a Bookstagram account where I talk about books and theatre. I have an Instagram account where I talk about life and theatre. I have a Threads account where I talk about books and theatre and life. So if any of that sounds up your street, head over there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with it. And I hope I will see you next week when there will be another theatre video. Bye.